everybody. Welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. Today's topic is stop submitting to abusive men. Stop submitting to these abusive men. Before we get started, I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to all the new viewers, the new subscribers, and welcome to you who have been with me from the beginning. I really appreciate you. Now, I did pull a video to get us started. Let's watch the short video, and we have a letter. Then we're going to read this letter and dive right into this topic. Stop, ladies. Stop submitting to these abusive men. Okay, here we go.
Women are not to submit to emotionally abusive husbands. I personally knew a Christian woman who went to my church who stayed with an emotionally abusive husband who also went to church with her for 20 years. And sadly, she got sicker and sicker and sicker until she ultimately developed a brain tumor, and then she died. Then her husband got remarried to a healthy woman, and within a year she began to get sick. So what was wrong with the husband? Why was he so emotionally abusive behind closed doors, even though he appeared to be godly? Well, he was sexually molested by his own father. So he had his own demons that tormented his wives and his children. So everyone has heard that God hates divorce, but did you know that in that same scripture it talks about the man who deals treacherously with the wife of his youth, which leads to violence, which is the cause of the divorce. And violence can be emotionally abusive. Again, those demons and those who are operating in that are smart enough to realize I better not lay a hand on them, because then they might leave. But boy, I can tear them down with my words over and over again until they don't even want to live anymore.
Okay, let's dive right into this letter. She says, my husband of 20 years has been so hard every day of our marriage. Before we married, he was so loving and caring, like a Prince Charming, ever since we moved in our first apartment. Well, he wanted to get you. So he had to be charming to get you. But now, since you're married to him, dang, he's going to show you who he really is. Okay? He made me cry. He yelled at me like a madman for no reason throughout our marriage. He goes out a lot at night, meeting his friends, and comes home at 4 a.m. in the morning. I say nothing. When I did ask where he was, he got so mad and told me not to tell him what to do. And he put his hands around my neck and choked me and banged my head against the wall. We have one child together. Okay, let's stop right here. I hope you realize you don't want to raise your child around this, because your child sees the way that he's treating you. If this is a man child, he'll grow up believing that this is the way you treat women. And if it's a female child, she will see you taking all of this abuse and feel like this is her lot in life, to take this abuse. You don't want your child to be raised seeing this kind of activity. It's bad. It's evil. Okay? He sometimes goes to Atlantic City for a weekend with his friend. He came home one day and told me he purchased the home without even telling me. I was so upset. I don't even like this home he purchased. Then he says to me, I am lucky that he is letting me to come to the new home because he felt sorry for me. Well, wait a minute. This is your husband, right? How is he able to do all these things without your knowledge? I believe because you have submitted to him. He's been abusive to you. He's got you pretty much afraid to speak up to him. You see, he's got total control over you and making you feel like if you don't submit to him, you may not even have a place to stay, you or your child. Throughout the marriage, he has put me down, making me feel as if I am dumb, which I am not. That's to lower your self-esteem. That's the point. These men do this so that they can control you. Make you feel like you're so stupid that you cannot manage on your own. You can't do anything without them. This is where men want to get you at that state. And then they want to punish you as if you were their child, which includes beating you, trying to kill you, strangle you, or whatever they want to do to you. That's not love, ladies. That's not love at all. That's abuse. He makes fun of me. All this is going on every day for many years. Please tell me what is going on with him. I am very sad and upset. Okay. You have been suffering this abuse every day for many years. Why? Why? Why are you suffering this? Is it because he holds the purse strings? Most times that's the case. If women had their own money, they wouldn't put up with this. Usually it's women who rely on the husband financially. And that's why I encourage you to be independent, whether you have a man or not. You want to be able to fall back on your own feet and not take anything these men dish out because, they hold the purse strings or that they're your husband. All right, so let's talk about that. If this abusive man is your husband. Now, when you get married, you say those vows for better or worse, richer or poor, blah, 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 blah. It's a lot of people that try to stick to those vows. You never should have made them in the first place. You know darn well that you didn't want to stay with this man if he is beating on you, making you feel less than, making you cry all the time, being sad and confused. When you made that vow, you made it because you were thinking it was going to be a beautiful life with this man. That's why you made the vow. But you didn't think that he was going to turn on you and show you his true face. You see, many times we marry these people way too fast or get involved with them way too fast. But ladies, do not choose a man because you want him to support you. Okay? Although it's the man's job to provide for you, but you want to be independent. If you're with him, it's his job to provide, which means to provide a place to stay, to provide the food, things like that. And if you work, you have your own income, then you can be the backup in case he runs into some difficulty. But it's not your job to provide for him. Ladies, you got to get that straight in your mind. No. A man takes a wife because he wants someone to care for him, to care for his home, to have his children, to care for his children. Not somebody to punch on, to beat on, to make your life a living hell. Now, men that do that, most of them come from families that did that. They saw their own father treating their mothers like that. You see? That's why, ladies, it's important for you to take your time to get to know these people. You want to know their background. You want to know where they came from. You want to know the father. You want to know the mother. And you want to check the attitude. It's a funny thing because not too long ago, my youngest son decided that he was going to get a new puppy. Okay? Now, the thing about it is, when you get a new puppy, you want to see the mom and you want to see the dad. You want to see where this puppy come from. You want to see his parentage to try to make a fair assumption whether it's going to be a happy dog, a vicious dog, an aggressive dog, a dog you got to watch or whatever. You can tell from the parents. It's the same thing with humans. When you meet a man, you want to know where he came from. What kind of people did he come from? You want to look in his family album and see what kind of people these are before you hook up with them, and especially before you have sex with them. Because sex opens that door. And once the man has sex with you and you have bonded with him, now he figures that he can do you like he wants to. And if he is an abuser, it's going to come out. It is going to come out. Now, let's talk about women who are Christian, in the Christian faith. All right? Your husband, you're going to get you a church man because you're a church woman. But your life with him is miserable because he's abusive. But you feel stuck because you call yourself a Christian. And you believe what it says in your Bible about marriage. I don't know if it's actually in the Bible that you should stay together in marriage, or if that is a teaching of the church. You know, those of you who are Christian, you can tell me that. You know, because sometimes the doctrine of the church gets mixed up with the Bible. And we all know that the Bible is metaphoric. And it's about you and your life. And these stories have a different meaning than the meaning that you have been told in your houses of worship. It has a different meaning. Those of you who are interested in knowing that different meaning, then you need to check out this book, the Book of Wisdom, and the link is in the description. This book goes through your scriptures in the Bible and tell what it really means. What it really means to your life. How it can better your life. You see, you have been deceived in your houses of worship with this Bible. The Bible has another meaning for you. A true meaning. But you need to know it. But you need to seek the truth for yourself, because the powers that be are not going to tell you, because they want to keep you in a dumbed down state. When you value yourself and you know the truth about things, you will not submit to these evils in the world. And abuse is an evil in the world. Many of these men have grown up in houses that were abusive. Whether they were abused personally or whether they were raised around it. And that's why you don't really want your child to be raised in a home with an abusive man there. It's no good for the child. And it's no good for you. You know, my first marriage lasted for 7 years. And the reason why it lasted that long, because my first husband was abusive and he was a drunk. It lasted that long because I came from a Christian family. Christian family. And when you get married, you stay married. No matter what. I stayed for 7 years being abused by this man. And I had little boys watching this. Little boys. I finally left him. I guess my oldest was about 8. And my oldest, even today, is affected by his father. Just those years when he was with him. And then after I left him, you know, then my ex-husband would continue to be with the boys. That influence was no good. No good at all. It really affected my boys to be around this abusive man that long. Ladies, that's why I encourage you to work on your exit plan if you are with an abusive man. And, you know, I did look up some information about it. And on the internet, there is an 800 number that you can call if you are being abused and you want a way out. Okay, so you can notify some folks and see if they can render you some help. You don't have to stay in an abusive relationship. That's the key. All right. Now you want to first sit down and work out an exit plan. You don't want to raise your kid with an abusive man at all. Think about your exit plan. Think about being more independent. If you work, start saving your little money so that you can leave him. Okay? Make up yourself an emergency bag in your home in case it gets so bad you need to grab that bag and your kid and leave. You see? You got to be ready. Don't sit and submit to these abuses. Okay? And women, you do it because you feel stuck. You either feel like you can't do any better, you saw your mother go through this, or you are afraid to step out on your own. You are afraid to do it. You feel like you need this man for some reason. You don't. You don't. That's in your own mind because you don't care that much about yourself. You need to be confident and strong, and you need to work on that. So now you want to have you an emergency bag somewhere in the house in case you have to leave him quickly. If you call a support number, which is a domestic violence number, if it comes to that or whatever, they do have mechanisms where they can help you to get away from him or whatever. But ladies, if you ever have to go through that, never go back. Don't take him back. I don't care if he comes and he apologizes or whatever he does, never take him back. Period. Let that be it. Now, the other thing I want to share with you. I'm a big believer in research. And I believe that if you are stuck in an abusive situation, that you need to build yourself up so you'll be more confident and you have more knowledge and more care about yourself. Now, here's a book. I have recommended this book before too. Whole Again. This book is for you if you are trying to heal or recover from a toxic relationship. And if you are with an abusive man, it is toxic. But you want to be whole again. You want to feel good again. And this book will certainly help you. But the thing about it is, this book will help you to feel good about yourself. To be confident again. To be strong enough to leave an abusive relationship. So again, this I'll put a link in the description where you can order this book directly from Amazon. You can have it in a day or so. It's a wonderful read. It's a powerful read. And just take your time. Because material like this really can help you feel better about yourself. So you got to build yourself up again. Because this man has concentrated on tearing you down. All the way down to the ground. That's his purpose. And if he is a narcissist, he won't stop until you are totally destroyed. And when I say totally destroyed, there are some people who have died from the hands of a narcissist. From the abuse. Have died. The narcissist wants to see you dead. He hates you anyway. That's why he treats you the way that he does. Ladies, stop submitting to abuse. You don't have to do it. It's a choice. But if you choose to stay with an abusive partner, then it's yours. It is yours. The universe is not going to come in and save you from that. You have free will. It's your decision. Now, if you decide to leave, the universe will support you in leaving. It did for me. I left with 3 little kids in tow. That's right. And left and went to another state completely. Start over. And I was a young girl, a young mother. Just not too long out of college. That's the only thing I had was a little college degree and 3 babies. And I had to go out there on my own and make a life for us away from that abusive man. And I tell you, it was worth it. It was worth it. I hope that you understand the message today. And I really hope that I've given you ladies who are in these abusive relationships some encouragement. If your man puts his hands on you to hurt you, it's time to go. Don't give him a second chance to do that to you. You deserve the best. And that isn't it, ladies. Let it go. Love yourself. And never submit to an abusive man again. I thank you so much for supporting this channel. I thank you for your comments and your letters. And a very special thank you to those that leave a donation. I really appreciate all of you. I wish you all the very best. And I really hope to see you next time.